Good morning. I am making a video for you to see how the tester works, the probes that you'll be getting, the cow block that I made for you, and the setup. So first of all, the adapter that you'll be getting is plugged into the top of the unit, and then the cable, the probe is actually hooked to that cable that screws into the adapter. The probe that's hooked up right now it's kind of an angled, and then the coil's right there. Should be scanning like this. This is a carbon steel calibration block. This one's kind of expensive and it's part of a set. You can probably buy these for about $400, $400 US. But what I did was I made a simulated cal stand. It's only got one simulated crack in it. It's carbon steel, similar material. Basically what I did was I have some thick carbon steel on the bottom of this sample, and then I have some 0.06 inch carbon steel sheet that I just slid very close together to simulate this crack. And the reason it's amber is because this is Teflon tape to simulate a thin coating of paint. It also reduces the probe noise, makes your scanning a little bit smoother. You can really use any kind of thin tape for this. So what I'm going to do when I get this set up is I'm going to show you how to calibrate using this block, and then I will verify that with those settings you can find the smallest crack in this sample, which is 8 thousandths of an inch, 0.008 inches. This one's 0.06 inches, so it's pretty deep. So first of all, I'm just going to take the probe and I'm going to start tapping it to this metal. So I'm going to set this down. You probably won't see me doing this. Let's see here. Let me get something to set it on. Hold on a second. Okay, there's our block. Now when I tap the metal, you can't see anything on the screen, so there's these are default settings. So the first thing we should do is, with our coil on the material, we're just going to go ahead and hit the null button. Okay, that brings the impedance dot on our screen, and now when we lift off, you can see which way liftoff goes. So this is our liftoff line. So right now, to adjust the frequency and the rotation, we need to go to the main menu. So this button says main right here. We're going to select that once. Now you get frequency, angle, gain, and then you have your individual horizontal gain and vertical gain. So I'm just going to tap it. First thing I want to do is take the frequency, and we're going to adjust that first. So using the smart knob, if you look up here, that's the frequency. I'm just going to go to 300 kilohertz. Since you're looking for surface cracks, you're going to find them with a wide range of frequencies, but I'll just use 300 for this example. Place our coil back on the material. You notice now you can't see the impedance point anywhere. It's because you changed the frequency. So when you hold the coil on the material and hit null again, it's going to bring that impedance point back onto the screen. Now the reason the impedance dot is at the bottom and not in the middle is because I've selected the null point to be at the bottom. I can adjust that if I want to, but right now we're going to focus on setting the liftoff horizontal. So I'm going to hit the angle button, And then I'm going to use the smart knob while I'm tapping the material. And now you can see it's kind of horizontal there. Liftoff's gone pretty much horizontal. So I'm going to hit the erase button. And now if I scan over this simulated crack, I can see the signal for it. Now the reason it's going in that direction is because carbon steel. If this was a non-magnetic material, the signals would be going more over towards like 20 degrees or so, but the crack on the carbon steel is going like 90 degrees. So now, if I leave the span or the amplitude setting at that, I'm not going to be able to see the smallest cracks in this sample because the amplitude is not big enough. But in order to see the 0.008 inch crack in this sample, I need to take the indication from the cal block, your cal block, and I need to make that signal about full screen height. So the way I do that is I hit the gain button here, and then as I'm scanning over it, I'll just start to increase the amplitude with the smart knob. Now, if I want to bring the null point up a little bit, I can go to display, and you got to hit that twice because each one of these buttons has two sets of functions. So hit it twice, you can change the vertical and horizontal position of that null point. So I'm just going to hit vertical, and I'm going to bring the null point up a little bit, and then I'll hit horizontal, and then I'll bring it over to the right a little bit. I'll hit erase. Okay, I want to make it about 100% of the screen height, so I'm going to go back to main, and on the gain, I'm going to keep bringing that up a little bit. So that's about 100% screen height. That signal's about that big, which translates to about your full screen. So now, if I hit the erase button, and now you notice that the liftoff line is a little bit different. That's because this carbon steel is a tiny bit different. So let me go, just to show you, I'll go here and I'll null on the cal block. And if I set that noise horizontal, this is your smallest indication right here. That's about 2 divisions. So I'll erase it and I'll go over that again. So by setting your cal block simulated crack to full screen height, the 0.008 inch deep crack in the cal block is about 1 division. The next one is 20 mils, so 0.020 inches deep. We're going to see what that looks like. So that's about 3 divisions. And then if I go over the deepest crack, which is 40 mils, 0.040 inches, that's going to give you a signal a little bit bigger, maybe 4 or 5. So that's the process. So when you calibrate using this block, again, you always want to null on your material. And you want to make sure your noise is horizontal. You want to set that to full screen height, and that should give you decent sensitivity for your smaller cracks. But remember, you always have to null on the material, so you can set your amplitude and your angle on this block to set it up roughly. But then when you go to the actual part you're going to test, if it's carbon steel, you might have to adjust the noise or the liftoff line a little bit. And you may want to position where your null point is. You can go up or down using the display. So it probably will take you a little bit to figure out where all these buttons are. But that's where your manual will come in handy. I think I emailed that to you already. So take a look at this. See what you think. Again, in your package, I'm going to be including the adapter that's here. Then you're going to get this probe and also a pencil probe version of that, which works about the same. It's just the orientation of the coil's different, but you'll set it up the same way. You get the cowl block, probe adapter. Let me grab a charger for you. Hold on. And then you'll be getting a single bay battery charger like this. I had to order them from China because they were too expensive in the United States. But I charged the battery with it last night and it works. So take a look at this video and let me know what you think.